Well, good afternoon and good evening, everyone. This is exciting. We finally, yes, life is indeed good. We finally got that chat overlay working. I'm super, super happy. I think it's because of my convoluted setup that uses the chat overlay from it's my audience here, captive audience, that I'm still using from Restream, even though I'm not using Restream. And I believe Twitch was switched off there. I think that was why it didn't happen. So then I switched it on just in the interface, and it kind of, all came good. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Rod, Christina, and Ralph, and perhaps anyone else who's out there watching a bit of Halo. Yes, today we're not going to do 3D shenanigans because I think I've done everything I wanted to do with 3D this week, and I was thinking my brain is a little bit mushy, and maybe I just need a bit of relaxing time with the people that are about to invade our wonderful Earth in the near future. So let's see if we can find out how the story progresses there. Steve is going to be on after me. Oh, good, Ralph. That's exciting. Very cool. Ralph, if you have any questions about Blender, then, throw them in there. Maybe we can answer them while playing a bit of a retro shooter game. I like it. It's actually so nice that you got into this 3D sort of hobby. Just because, it is a nice hobby to, if you see it as a hobby, it is actually a really nice pastime. So there we go. And hello, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you could do all your housekeeping there. Speaking of housekeeping, I was fiddling myself earlier a little bit, and I've added some more of these commands that I believe perhaps Chris was doing earlier. And I can give Chris a shout out by just typing !Chris. And that should now give Chris a shout out. The L is silent. Isn't that amazing? I love that. I love it. Absolutely like it. And I can also give Rod a shout out because I can just type !Rod. And then we see this appear, which is extremely exciting. Ha ha ha. And while we're here, while we're talking about shout outs, let's give Christina a shout out, which is !CMC. And then it does that. So very, very cool. I've also found out, and I want to test this maybe a little bit later, perhaps not today, there is a way that we can add commands like these. Moderators can add commands like these just by saying !add, I think it's command, and then we just type something, and then the Streamlabs bot will remember that, which is kind of cool. So we're going to have to try that. I've been speaking of of course speaking of shout outs and speaking of video editing, Julia and I were out this morning, and this was kind of more lunchtime, and we filmed the introduction for the Streaming 101 series, and that's now good. It took me like 4 or 5 attempts, and it's kind of interesting. I kind of liked them all. These takes, they all went wrong, except for the last one. That's the one that I've decided to go with. So I'll put that live later on my YouTube channel. And then the whole series is going to go live either later tonight or tomorrow, or something along those lines. But that is in the can, which is exciting. So we've taped that. And for Patreon supporters, I've compiled all the outtakes together. Usually I'm not into blooper reels, but in this case I thought actually it looks quite nice, and I thought it gives a bit of an insight into my personal creative process. I'm not one to write scripts. I just feel something and I'm just starting to talk, and if there's pauses and awkward things, I usually edit this together, but I try and do it on one take, so I try not to edit too much. And this is a great example into blooper reels. That's kind of blooper reels, Christina, are things that are outtakes. Like at the end of Toy Story, for example, you hear the things that the voice actors did wrong, and that are usually ending up on the cutting room floor. But if you edit them together in a funny way, it's interesting to, some people find it interesting. I never thought it was interesting. Some people have given me comments that wouldn't it be nice if you chose some blooper reels, and I never think they're called outtakes for a reason, really. But at the same time, and this is why I'm doing it on Patreon, it'll be interesting to see how I approach that. I have a vision in my mind, and I just try it 5-6 times until the reality is in line with what I think things should be like. A bit like when I approach something in Photoshop or DAZ Studio, I have some kind of a vague vision, and then I keep fiddling until something is there that I'm thinking, hey, this is actually, I can live with that now. It's usually not extremely aligned. Sometimes the outcome exceeds the expectation, which is super awesome. But, doesn't always happen that way. So, my friends, let me... Oh, yes, so speaking of shout-outs, I believe I can say Patreon, and then that should give me a shout-out to Patreon. No, it doesn't. Ah, man, that didn't work. I need to put that in. Patreon, did I spell that correctly? Yeah. Hey, I can do this. That's support. That should work. That has the Patreon link on that link, but on the Patreon link is where the blooper reel shall be. And on my regular YouTube channel, which is this one here, drowning everyone in shoutouts, now very cool, that is where you'll find the whole series, Streaming 101. There. And I believe that is it for rambling. Let's go and get on with a bit of Halo. Let's see. I believe if I press this button, then we should see the whole Halo interface thing. And we essentially finished the first chapter. Oh, come on, joystick, joypads, coming on. We finished the first chapter last time that got us to that alien ship. So now it's time for a bit more, retro fun.
Hit 'em, Marines! Go, go, go! The Corps ain't paying us by the hour!
Actually, let me go and restart this level so that we see the intro video. I think that's kind of interesting how we actually end up here. And then I'll give you a quick recap of how we got here in the first place. All progress will be lost. Well, we didn't really make any progress.
Captain Keyes and are holding him aboard one of their cruisers, the Truth and Reconciliation. The ship is currently holding position approximately 300 meters above the other end of this plateau.
So how do we get inside the ship if it's in the air? The Corps issued me a rifle, not wings.
There's a gravity lift that ferries troops and supplies between the ship and the surface. That's our ticket in.
Once we get inside the ship, I should be able to lock on to the tracking signal from Captain Keyes' neural implants.
Hit 'em, Marines! Go, go, go! The Corps ain't paying us by the hour!
Stick to the higher ground to the right. We should be able to recon the Covenant position without being spotted. I've detected Covenant stationary guns near the next pass. I recommend using your sniper rifle to take out the gunners while I call for Marine support.
Roger that.
Get ready to move in to support us, Sergeant. The Master Chief is going to covertly take out as many of the Covenant as he can. Don't open fire until you hear the enemy return fire on us. That should let us keep the element of surprise.
So Cortana is really nice sometimes, but sometimes she also talks so much that she drowns out anything that you'd ever want to hear. But it makes it an interesting game, a very interesting, exciting game. So what's just happened is we've landed here, like we've just beamed down here with our buddies. See, these are our friends here, all the other soldiers. And these guys here are obviously the evil guys. Those are the Covenant. Put my night vision goggles on here, very cool. He's patrolling things, and we've got this big sniper rifle here. Oh yeah, please lurk, Chris. That's no problem at all. We like it. So it's very entertaining to battle ourselves through here. I've got this sniper rifle for a reason, so that I can pick these guys off one by one while taking a bit of shelter. Hopefully they're not gonna hear me. This guy was on a turret here. This guy's nervously walking up and down. Maybe I can take him out as soon as he comes back here. I've got like half a second to go and line up this thing. Try and do a headshot. Dude! No, maybe just go ice this guy. Oh, think I've been spotted. Oh yeah, there we go. There's another turret over there. Maybe I can take that guy out. These turrets are seriously... they're just annoying. Unless, of course, we take the turret. Steve, by the way, if you're into 3D stuff, Steve is going to be on after me today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in about an hour and a half. No, actually more like an hour. So I'll be well finished by then.
A Covenant is making a run for that stationary gun. Take him out!
Very handy.
Nice shot.
Thank you, Marine.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Rock in hell!
I like that the other Marines do help you here. So this was in a time where online multiplayer games weren't actually really the norm. They were just about coming out. Like Halo 2 was one of those that had that.
Oh, baby, yeah!
But this one, that didn't really have that. So there was no online play in the regular Halo. It had local LAN play, so you could hook up several Xboxes together and then you could play with friends in the same game, much like we now play Fortnite with people across the globe quite casually. But that wasn't always an easy feat to achieve, and this is just about the time when those things were creeping in to game design. But failing that, it was very exciting to have this camaraderie, I guess, is probably the right term, to experience that, what it would be like to play with friends in the form of non-player characters, which are these Marines here. Faye Mo! Hello, hello! How are you doing? Thank you so much for the follow, I do appreciate that. Nice to see you. I was just saying, it's not a 3D stream today, it's a bit of a, well, we're examining 3D things, I guess, in a game engine. But yeah, it's more classic, retro Halo. I've done so much 3D and work this week that I thought, no, I need a bit of fun. Go kamikaze style into this. Man, don't reload at this moment, that's terrible.
Nice one!
Thank you, Marine.
Covering fire!
Good thing these guys are on my side.
Yeah, mate, way to go! That's the way to do it.
Covenant forces detected up ahead. The path up on the left should let us sneak up around them.
And other than the screen resolution, all the graphics are very close to what the original Xbox version would have looked like. So very authentic. Glad I can still play it, since I don't have a original Xbox anymore. This here, that's being alluded to, this purple lift thing that we see here. Maybe I can zoom in here. That is this gravity lift that we ultimately need to go to in order to board that ship. Ooh.
Cortana to Fire Team Charlie. Move up on the left. You should be able to flank the enemy.
Roger that!
Let's take out those turrets here, what do you think? And I just need to wait for my shields to regenerate here, which means right now while it's beeping, somebody hits me, I lose actual health. And that next beeping is my shields recharging.
Alert! Covenant dropships are inbound.
It is such a cool game, Famo. It is really, really cool. Very addictive, and especially given the fact that it's almost 20 years old. It was seriously high tech back in the day when it came out. I believe in 2001 with the original Xbox. How's my ammo doing? Ammo's good. Checkpoint. I like it.
Contact! Enemy in sight!
I should have done that more stealthily.
Guns are gonna tear us to pieces!
Whoa, my health does not look good. Hey, this is the easy level. Can you imagine what this is like on Legendary? Ooh. Famo, tell me, are you more into video games or are you more into 3D software? I enjoy both, and I find it difficult to predict what my brain likes on any given day. Whoa, nice one. Iced him with the sniper rifle. Perhaps I should try the turret. Yes, maybe I should do that. Also should perhaps find some health, if we do find some here. Oh man, more turrets! I believe if Steve is going to join us, he also likes this game. So I've kind of his suggestion to play it, because we've both been Halo fans from back in the day. Probably not the best strategy what I'm doing here. Also, where all my marine buddies gone? Whew. I knew there were other people. Was that the end of it? No, it wasn't. It is kind of funny if you compare how sluggish is not the right word, but if you compare how well a game like Fortnite handles these days compared to something like this, it's just such a different world. But yeah, I think it's still got good merit, this game. Cossacks, I don't think I know that one. I'll check it out. What is that? Adventure shooter game? Oh no. Oh, these guys were crazy. I should get out of here. This is not something we can do with the turret. Look at the carnage. Unbelievable. So these guys, they're just hugely powerful. There's some lore about them. They always hunt in pairs. I believe hunters they're actually called. And they've got this huge plate in front, so I can't shoot them. They just take no damage. But when they turn their back, there's a little brown piece that I can, like this thing in the middle, I think I can harm them that way. But anything that's light brown on them, I can exert harm on them. Doom rod, my goodness. That's how you get them. Nice one. It's only because his back was turned, and that was just seriously lucky. Oh my god, where is he? So yeah, these guys hunt in pairs, and when they're not hunting you, they read poetry to one another. I think that's the law. Whoa! Oh my goodness, that was good!
Cortana to Echo 419. We've reached the gravity lift and are ready for reinforcements.
Maybe that should be your first stream, Rod. What do you think?
Gentlemen, Bullhammer out.
Rod plays
Once
Doom.
we're inside the ship, I can home in on the captain's command neural interface. He'll probably be in or near the ship's brig, which should narrow our search.
Echo 419 inbound. Clear the drop zone.
Are we not going up here? Come on, Foehammer, let's go up the ship. Well, that's our dropship, of course. Those are our reinforcements, so we can't go up there on our own. We're gonna go with these people, which is nice. Nice to have some help there, I think. Welcome! The more the merrier! Let's do this thing!
We're in. I've got a good lock on the captain's CNI transponder. No Covenant defenses detected.
So the reason why we're on board this alien ship is because our captain was, well, abducted, really. They want to press him for information, and that's why they're holding him hostage on this ship here. So we're in, I think this is the first time that humans are
No Covenant. You had to open your mouth.
on board a Covenant ship.
Check your tongue. Eat lead. Hey, that's the way to do it.
And one thing that made this game really just outstanding back in the day was the amount of enemies on the screen at the same time. It's not something that's easily done. This is not even the most we're gonna see. Maybe we'll reach that level today. I'm not sure if we will, but there are literally thousands of enemies at one point on screen.
Did the best you can do.
Oh, grenades, let's do that.
Sorry, soldier.
So funny. Red doors we can't go in, sadly. White doors will open for us. But of course only once we kill this horde of enemies over here. These are alien weapons. We can switch them for our own in case we ever do run out of ammunition, which is about to happen. Oh my god, more enemies over there. Soldier behind you! This little dude with a shield and all.
Area secure, sir.
Phew.
How about that door?
I don't think we need that sniper rifle anymore, so I'm going to switch that for one of the alien weapons. That's an okay weapon. It's not great, but it can do this, and it can also do that. Apparently, according to the law, these weapons can be recharged, but we as humans, we don't know how to do it. So once they're empty, you can't actually load them up. You just have to switch them for another weapon. That's, you know, what it says. Oh, this is a cloaking device. We can run right into that and become invisible. Look at that invisibility effect here. It's good to sneak up on people afterwards. Ah, my buddies are waiting for me. That's nice. Come on, soldiers. Let's do this thing.
Lock, sir. No way through.
We could use the side passages to find a way around.
We'd be
Guess we'll have to.
in that narrow space. We can hold this position if you can find a way around and open the door from the other side, Chief.
Alright, let's do that.
Let's see if we can find a way to open this door.
Tell me how, Cortana. So we're looking for another white door. This could be it. Nah, that's not it. Red doors don't open. Well, that's not gonna open. How about this one? Nah. This one then. Ooh, health. Yes, let's do that. Right. That's a white door, so we could go through here. Does this get us back to... Yes, I think... Does this get us back? Oh no, it's a different room, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, I think we've been here before. This thing's called a needler. That's a really ugly weapon. You shoot at people and those needles explode in their bodies. Alien weapon this is. Crazy stuff. Who designs this? So there's like the delayed death, essentially. I might actually use this weapon here. That's nicer. I like that. This is another alien weapon. Plasma pistol.
Wait, that's the locked door down there. The Marines are waiting on the other side. The controls to open it must be somewhere in this room.
Dramatic death. Oh! Hold it is never good when you hear that behind you. In that deep voice. Well, let's follow that red dot and open that door for the Marines. Huh. Can I just jump down here? I think he's sleeping down there. Apparently these little guys, they can't breathe the oxygen here. They have to bring their own. And these guys here, they're a bit like turtles. They have an integrated shield. My goodness, so many of them. And we can also punch people. That's sometimes very helpful. Oh my god, another horde! Oh, you've got a good weapon there. Look at that, mine's at like 6% or something. I'm gonna go swap this for his one. There, now it's 89%. Good thing with those battery-powered guns is that you don't have to reload them. That's kind of nice. Come on, Cortana, do your thing. Hey! Marines! Okay, we've opened the door. Where to next? Any ideas? We could try this again. I believe the game eventually helps us. Soldiers. Any ideas? Look at that. This is his little eyepiece screen there. Let me have a look at it. It's like his heads-up display that's right in front of his eye. Very exciting. They have remastered these games. I believe this one is available for the Xbox, but it's not quite available for the PC yet. They're working on it, and as soon as it's available, they're putting it into the Master Chief Collection, I believe that's what it's called. You can get that on Steam, and it has all Halo games available for Windows. I think the same edition is available for the Xbox One already, and it means you can relive the history of all the old Halo games in remastered. So this is not a remastered version. This is like true to the authentic original, I believe. As true as possible. Oh, hello. Yeah, that was mean. I do admit that was mean. Also quite funny though. Enemies is always a good sign in games like these because that means you're going the right way. How about you guys? Are you coming? Marines? Anyone? Marines aren't coming. I'm all by myself here. It's an alien spaceship. I would appreciate some help, guys. Where is everyone? I do remember the first time I played this, this was all extremely confusing. I'm glad it still is after 20 years. Where are we going? All these dead people, that kind of means we've been here already. Ooh. And an enemy means we haven't been here. Perhaps this was the right way to go. But then who killed this guy? I'm confused. That's right, Christina. The yellow guys are mine and the red guys are the enemies. And every once in a while you see another kind of a red chevron type thing, and that's a game marker where the game tells you, hey, you need to do something here. And the last thing we were supposed to do is open a door. And I think we've done that. And that made the Marines come into that room on the ground floor. Usually they follow me wherever I go. Marines! There you are. Guys. Colonel. Private. Perhaps we should go over here. Let's try that. I mean, that's the door we did open. Perhaps it's where we meant to go through. I don't know. But that only leads us back here, because this is where we got started. Look, this was my sniper rifle that I left here. And that's the door we opened. I don't know. A map would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, I believe this circle, Christina, is a bit like a radar. So if people are stationary, they're not detected, but when they're moving, like this guy in front of me, as soon as he's moving, I can see him as a moving yellow circle. And then I can see where, in relation to my position in the middle, all the other people are. Like, so if an enemy was attacking from behind, I would see that. So let's do this process of elimination thing then. If this is the door that we've just walked through, the one that we opened to let the soldiers in, let's do this counterclockwise, starting on the left. We'll see where this tunnel gets us, and then we're going to go for this tunnel and so forth, and see if anything gets us anywhere. You know, more light would be good, wouldn't it? So I have this light, I can switch that on and off. That's my built-in torch. That's kind of built into my like Mjolnir armor type thing. And you can see when I switch that on, there's this kind of torch icon at the top right of the screen, and it goes down. So I only have it for a limited time, and then the light will switch itself off, and then it will recharge itself. So that's kind of a nice little game mechanic there. If I do this, I can keep it up for so long, or when it's really dark, I can switch it on. So yes, let me know if you want me to put the light on in really dark situations. Oh, hello. Maybe this is the way to go. Let's see. Maybe this is the way to go. Oh yeah, this is the way to go. So tell me, Christina, what is Ralph doing then? What have you given him as an exercise? This is kind of a daunting task if you're not familiar with 3D applications. Where do you start? And also, which application do you start with? Ideally, you'd start with Blender, but that is so difficult that there might be easier programs to just grasp the reality of 3D.
How you doing, amigo? Right on.
I'm kind of curious. That is a good question, isn't it? If you were a complete newbie, would you start with Blender? Or would that be too overwhelming? Is something like that Studio maybe easier? I don't know. Both of them side by side? It's a tricky one. And are you teaching him to model? Is that the idea? Like to start with? Because that's then the next question. I mean, do you begin by assembling objects, playing with existing 3D objects? Do you start by making your own objects? This is when I need my sniper rifle, isn't it? Ooh, what happened here? Hello, Steve. How you doing? Wow, that is quite that's quite steep, I must say. That's amazing. Because those are really difficult things to grasp. But I mean, Ralph obviously has an excellent teacher, I must say. Everybody should have a Christina in her life. It's like with anything, isn't it? If you have somebody who can explain the tools to you the right way, you go, hey, I get it. This is how I do it.
That'll teach him.
Of course. Do you know, that might actually be a good thing. I believe you're offering that on your Patreon site already, that there is like personal sessions. That's something you can sell, like this personal tutoring for people who say, I have difficulty in this area.
Hey, which way should we go now? All the doors on this level are locked.
Wait a moment. I'm going to access the Covenant BattleNet and locate an override code to open a door.
You better hurry, Cortana. We can't hold them off all day.
Ah, right. Maybe we had spoken about this then, and yeah, that's possible, because I do remember us discussing it at one point. Oh my god, I think this music only comes up when there's hunters. It's just like the hunters theme. Oh my god, there they are.
Covering fire! You have just pissed me off!
One down, one to go. Woo!
Oh yeah, just a little more!
Got it. The door is open. Everyone should move through now. I can't guarantee that it won't lock again when it closes.
That is where I've seen them, Christina. That's where I've seen them, exactly. I knew I had seen them somewhere in relation to you. And I still think it's a good idea. Well, I guess Ralph was a very talented pupil then. I'm so pleased about this.
Quit hugging them all!
I want to tackle, like, just for my own vision, I think the next thing I want to tackle, aside from more Blender, of course,
Right on.
is Unreal. I really want to have a look at Unreal. Marine, come on. Help us out here.
Bother getting up.
Very funny.
Who's with me?
Yes, and Soldier, terrible. It's your colleague, my goodness. Yes, Unreal, that's kind of the, for me, Unreal is like the undiscovered country. If there is anything I'd like to explore, it's the whole hooking up 3D objects, animated 3D objects to some kind of logic that do something when we move the joystick or when we touch them or something like that. That is something I'd really like to get into, especially for real-time animations. So technically, even with the basic blueprints in Unreal, if I just move the joystick like this, I can literally control the camera live. So that means I don't have to necessarily add keyframes, that I can do some things live with a game controller and just create animations in real time. That would be so cool, and that is what I'd like to tackle next. But if that's going to be this year, I don't know, maybe later this year. It's such a learning curve. But yeah, that'd be something very exciting to figure out. And then also see how that fares for animations as well as static scene building.
We're clear.
Oh, this guy's cloaked. You see him? You see this outline here?
Wow!
Stuck a grenade to him. That was not very nice, was it? That was just... Sorry, dude. Oh yeah, let's swap the weapon. Recharge it. 20 minutes, alright. Nice one, Steve. You can go on literally any time you like. I'm gonna finish pretty much on time at 7.
That burns!
And then I will go and raid your channel. What's the topic for today's session, Steve? Ooh.
More of them!
We will finish that level by that time. That'd be kind of cool. Come on.
Let's find him. I'm on it!
There's so many of them. Oh yeah, these guns overload sometimes. When you fire too many times without putting it down, giving it a bit of pause there, it just explodes and doesn't shoot for a while.
Here comes more!
Ooh, nicely done.
Whoa! Cover fire!
Very good point. It is Sunday for Steve already.
Let's go where that came from! Way to go! Over here! I'm on it. Get up! Try to kill you again. Keep it up! What the? Oh! Right on!
I like that the little guys refer to us as just he. Like he's everywhere, because I guess they can't tell us apart. Thank you, Marine.
Bastard.
Ooh.
Going in! I'm with you! Good one! That'll teach him!
Oh, right, that's what you mean. Sorry, Steve. Yeah, I didn't quite get that.
Does anyone see him? Found him!
Is that all that's left of you? 2 people? Come on. There's got to be more of you here. Checkpoint done. That's good. Are we getting any closer to Captain Keyes? Oh, look at that. That's a dropship.
Covering fire! Do some for me, huh? This one's not breathing.
Well, 1% improvement over the old gun. 69 versus 70. Not bad.
What the?
Chris, how you doing? Welcome again. Christina, thumbnails, they're kind of... I find them really difficult to do for my YouTube videos and for my Twitch videos too. And they're important, and I spend so much time on them. And sometimes I spend all the time and then I'm thinking, hey, that looks really good. And then I must remind myself, hey, how functional does this need to be? And is the time I'm spending on them in any relation to how it captures the audience? I don't really know. I'm thinking of releasing my thumbnails in full resolution somewhere. I don't know, Tumblr, perhaps Renderosity isn't a good idea for that. Maybe Tumblr, put them on my Tumblr gallery. Once a month, all the thumbnails that I've made, just put them up on one post. Because they are little pieces of art and there's so much work that goes into them. There's a tool that I've heard a lot about that many YouTubers use. It's called TubeBuddy. And that's something that lets you easily create a thumbnail in a web browser. Does any one of you use that? Any experience with TubeBuddy? And it's not great, but it allows you to layer several JPEGs and PNGs on top of one another. And you don't have to use something like Photoshop. I could do, Steve. Yeah, ArtStation. My ArtStation account isn't doing anything, so yeah, I could just use that simply for making thumbnail art. Or Behance.
I'm going in. Don't let him get away.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of people here. This could well be where the captain is hiding. Well, hiding, being held captive. He's everywhere.
Nailed him. Hey, nice shot. Firing.
Dead. Do you have a gun for me? Let me grab your gun. Come on, there we go. Nice one.
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness, more people. More Covenant. Do you know, same here, Christina, which is why I've never really looked into TubeBuddy.
We must be close.
This is a good spot, Chief. I'm the store here, but you go after the captain. Good luck, sir.
And also Photoshop for that, for YouTube thumbnails, it just, for me, it's a big experimental ground, really. It's nice for me to just try new things out, and it's not overly important that it's all super perfect, but it's great for me to try out other things. What's your experience with GIMP? Because that's a strong contender to one day, I guess, for certain things we do, could replace Photoshop somehow. Last time I looked at GIMP, I must say that's a long time ago now, but it's not something I thought, hey, this is great. I picked it up and I thought, oh, this is very different to Photoshop. This is not something I can intuitively pick up. And then I dropped it. But that's probably maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago. shortly before I left for the US. So it's probably a very different story now, and it's probably come a long way since then.
We must be in the brig. These look like holding cells. There are probably multiple detention stations. The captain must be in one of them. We need to keep looking for him.
No, but the thing is, Rod, I tried Blender a long time ago as well, and it was also not overwhelming. And I thought, oh my god, I'd literally installed it. That was in the 2.4, like pre-2.4 days. I installed it, looked at it, thought, oh my god, and then quickly just, uninstalled it again because it was just not for me. But that's such a long time ago. I mean, this is the good thing about open source. These things evolve all the time. So every once in a while, maybe every year or so, it's a good idea to give these things another try and see what's changed. But it also requires us to have the time to do it. I mean, this is often my problem, that I'm thinking I just don't have the time. I just want to get something done. This guy was really dangerous. He had this blade, if you've seen that. That blade is something, it kills you instantly. Literally one touch kill. Sadly, in this game we can't use it, but these guys can. And when they come too close, and when they have that blade and the cloaked, oh my god.
Amazing, sir. You really
Thank you.
Stow
That's
it.
so nice of him.
Open these cells and let's get the hell out of here.
Cap him, of course.
Along the back wall.
Alright. This? Okay. Is this it, Captain? There we go.
Coming here was reckless. You two know better than this. Thanks. Marines! Lock and load your weapons. Let's be ready to move.
Okay, yes, sir.
While the Covenant had us locked up in here, I overheard the guards talking about this ring world. They call it Halo.
One moment, sir. Accessing the Covenant BattleNet. According to the data in their networks, the ring has some kind of deep religious significance. If I'm analyzing this correctly, they believe that Halo is some kind of weapon, one with vast, unimaginable power.
Then it's true. The Covenant kept saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Now I see. I have intercepted a number of messages about a Covenant search team scouting for a control room. I thought they were looking for the bridge of a cruiser that I damaged during the battle above the ring. But they must be looking for Halo's control room.
That's bad news. If Halo is a weapon, and the Covenant gain control of it, they'll use it against us and wipe out the entire human race. Chief, Cortana, I have a new mission for you. We need to beat the Covenant to Halo's control room. Marines, let's move!
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Chief, you have the point.
Alright, shut up and get behind me, sir.
We should head back to the shuttle bay and call for evac.
Let's do it. 3 to 4 gigabytes. That's crazy, Christina. That's huge. Those are huge files. But I suppose for print, tons of layers, I guess. High resolution.
God, this one's at room temperature.
Wow, those are big files.
What the? Try that on! Nice shot!
I know you're there.
Oh, the captain's got a needler. Look at that. You know how to do that, sir?
Over here.
Back me up!
Nice shot, sir. Oh my god. Gore.
So I can kill you again!
Hey, friendly fire, amigo.
Nearly shot the captain.
Hold your fire. Move.
Right. Oh, a friend of mine in London was doing that. Julian, he passed away. He was doing that for a magazine, like they call it a Lads Mag, I believe FHM. That's the magazine. And literally everything is retouched, and it takes so much time to do that. Those types of files are that big. I never even thought about it.
They all ran away.
Oh, Faymore, I'm gonna have a look at your link there. That is so funny. That is so funny. Thank you so much. That's amazing. That is so cool, Juliet. You should have a look at that. This is really cool. It's such a shame I can't put it on the screen right now because the gaming setup isn't set up for that. Oh, that is so nice of you. That is so nice of you. I love it. This is so nice of you. Thank you so much. I shall feature that next time I'm live. I'll be back on... when is it? It's I'm working tomorrow. I'm back on Monday, actually. I'm going to feature that on Monday. That is so nice of you. It's literally all my favorites in there. This is so cool. It almost looks like my desk. Except I wear Crocs, but you couldn't know that, so that's... And the funny thing is, we used to own a house in Birmingham in the UK, and that terrace almost looks exactly like that. Wow! Thank you so much! I appreciate that. That is exciting. Fan art. That's going to be a whole new... That's going to be a whole new category on the Discord server. Oh wow, where do we need to go? Captain, come on, Captain Keys. Tell us where to go. Oh, don't follow me, I don't know where to go. I've got no sense of orientation. Speaking of 2D applications, Famo, where did you do that? What did you do that in? Was that in Photoshop, or what did you use for that? $550 layers, my goodness. This gives a whole new... That's a whole tutorial in itself, how to organize yourself around so many layers. I try to do that. I try to really keep up there in Photoshop, because even with like 20 or 30 layers, it can get super confusing super fast. Especially when you pick up the file after a while and you think, my goodness, what did I do here again?
Good.
This way, this way.
Right side. Hey!
And for those types of layers,
There it is.
complex projects, it's really important to get organized. Oh, yeah.
See him?
The funny thing is, we all believed you, Christina, when you said 500.
We showed him.
We would have never thought, Christina, that's too many. You should really split that, whatever project that is, into several files. We all thought, no, wow, no, that's probably doable. Yeah, layer 57. _1. Yeah, that'll help. Oh my god, he's got a blade. Do you see him? He's got a blade! Don't let the blade touch you.
To Echo 419. We have the captain and need extraction on the double.
Negative, Cortana. I've been engaged by Covenant air patrols, and I'm having a tough time shaking them. You'll be better off finding your own ride. Sorry.
Own ride?
Acknowledged, Foehammer.
What are you saying?
Air support is cut off, Captain. We need to hold here until she can move in.
Oh man, we're trapped in here. We're screwed. We're screwed, man.
Yeah, everybody panic. That's gonna help.
Soldier, remember you're a leatherneck. Cortana, if you and the Chief can get us into one of those Covenant dropships, I can fly us out of here.
Are you sure, Captain?
There's a Covenant dropship still docked.
Is it now? Oh, let's undock it and let's use it to escape this thing. Picked up 31 rounds for the assault rifle. Okay. But I guess the bigger problem is we're going to have to hold here and fend off hordes and hordes of enemies.
I got nothing.
I like the lip sync here. Also like the headgear. Very nice. Using the same gun as I do. Very good. Now let's go this way. Follow the red dot. That's gonna get us there. If we're lucky. Marines, are you with me? Come on! There we go. Oops.
Look at him fly! Hold your fire!
Oh, it's over here now? Oh, maybe we need to go one level up. Oh no, something on this thing here. Alright, come on.
That's it. The dropship is loose.
Everybody, mount up. Let's get on board.
You sure you don't want to do what you do? You know what you're doing, Captain?
Give me a minute to interface with the ship's controls.
No need. I'll take this bird out myself.
Oh my god.
Captain, hunters!
Hang on.
Nice one, sir!
Time for a little payback.
Very good, sir. Oh, and I believe this is the beginning of a new level, so this is a great spot for us to stop the game and
The Covenant believe that what they call the Silent Cartographer
call it a day.
under this island. The Cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center. The island has multiple structures and installations. One of them contains the map room.
We're approaching the LZ. It's gonna be hot. Get set to come out swinging. Touchdown! Hit it, Marines!
Wow. That looks like a very cool level with beach and everything. I'm going to take care of that next time. I'll go let the Marines move in here. I'm going to let you guys do this. I think we're going to call it a day here. Wow. There's a lot going on. This is going to be exciting. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this up on Monday or if there's going to be more 3D stuff on Monday. We'll see. We'll see. Either is going to be interesting. Thank you so much for that unbelievable picture there, Famo. That is really, really cool. That just makes me so happy. I'm really glad you've done that. It's very exciting. I appreciate that greatly. So thank you so much. We're gonna go and raid Steve. Go over to Steve's channel in just one moment. As soon as you're live, Steve, go ahead and get yourself ready. Yes, that is it. My new series, Streaming 101, is going to be live either later tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to put a link into the chat right now. You can be one of the first people to watch it and let me know what you think. It's going to get you online fast with the super exciting adventure that's big at the moment, which is streaming. So there you go. If you want to get online, that is the thing to watch. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, for hanging in there. We're going to be back with Halo at one point, but Monday, so my schedule is Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll be back on Monday and on Thursday for streaming. Watch the Twitter notifications and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night and I'll see you at Steve's stream. Take care. Bye-bye.